I'm Will Garrett. I have a few days left until I'm 40 years old, and I have a few thoughts on how it's going so far. You know, growing up, I was always worried about things that I saw on television that would grow up and plague my adult life. But I gotta be honest, I've never seen any coyotes with rockets strapped to the roller skates on their feet, buzzing through the highways, or, I've never had to push anybody out of the way of an anvil with the word Acme on the side in big cartoon letters because it's fallen from the sky. It just doesn't happen. I was raised in the 80s. Graduated high school in 1995. And back then, the only Tinder we had was Tender Feet because we had to walk everywhere. We didn't have Snapchat. We had Street Light. When that went on, you needed to be home. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'll take you right to the first place is we didn't have cell phones. We weren't posting pictures and all the stupid things we were doing back then. Well, some of us waited till now to post stupid things, but a lot of us still have dumb things that are in the past that nobody has evidence of. So that's always a good thing. Although the one thing that it's come to is we didn't have those to take into the bathrooms to kill time. Nowadays, you go in there and you start looking at memes, you need to learn how to walk again before you come out of there. And I'll go where your mind just went to. That's right. Back in the day, your boy had to flip through a Sears catalog just to get a picture of a girl in just a bra. Kids nowadays have everything, too much really, at the edge of their fingertips. Let's worry about that. Cell phones, we've gone crazy with them. And this is what I mean. We will get halfway to work, realize we left our cell phone at home, do the full FBI pat-down car search, realize it's nowhere to be found. We'll turn around and be late for work, and we're not even supposed to have them at work. And why? Because we can't stay off of social media for a day. True story. Technology, these cell phones have taken away so many joys in life for kids. They will never know the joy of having to flip through the family Rolodex, looking for someone's phone number, not remembering their last name. Kids nowadays will never know the struggles of having to whip through the streets looking for a payphone to call someone back that just paged you, right? They'll never know that. Your dad drank that hot black coffee that you could start, a semi-truck in Alaska on a cold day with. Not this caramel iced hot macchiato coffee stuff that people are buying. Ridiculous. I'm from a time when we would eat screaming yellow zonkers while watching Who's the Boss? Charles in Charge? I'm not even going to sing. Silver Spoons. Alyssa Milano taught me what the phrase raging boner meant. I laughed with Alf. I fought crime with Bo and Luke Duke. And I rubbed it out to Punky Brewster. But it's a different time, man. We didn't have hand sanitizer on every corner back then. I drank out of a hose and lived to tell about it, which is pretty amazing. My dad would crack open a new beer at a red light while I was jumping up and down in the front seat in my underoos. And I know you had underoos. Do not even play. Star Wars, that was as cool as it got back then. And you know what? The metaphors in that movie taught me everything I needed to know going forward in life. Let's talk about it. Two white people who almost fall in love. Then they find out they're siblings, so she pushes him aside and goes after his friend, who has a hairy, no one can understand, but he can fix everything kind of friend. Wait a minute, does Wookiee mean future Latino? Oh no, never mind. That Chewie was taller than 5'3". There's a big black character who was really scary and nobody wanted to deal with, but once somebody showed him some love, he came around, came to the good side, even ended up giving his life for his son. Come on, there's something to be said for that, of course. How about an old, green midget who was as good as putting sentences together as Helen Keller would be as giving a vasectomy. Not even fun. There's that know-it-all robot-y character who's kind of got gay tendencies and you maybe think he is, but you don't really care because you love him and he's your friend, but maybe there's a chance. I mean, you know, the whole thing is like the Village People take over outer space, if you ask me, but what do I know? But if we mix in a few of the black and red and white soldiers for the people, you know, we throw the Ewoks in for all of our pets, and then you add a crazy old white man who thinks he runs everything and can do anything he wants, and you have a racist story that's transcended time and generations to become one of the greatest franchises in history. Think about it. Growing up, man, I used to love watching car chases with big old car crashes, and now when I see that, the only thing I can think of is it's not good for insurance rates. You know, I miss the time, the older me misses the time when all the drama that I had in my life came from ER and Beverly Hills 90210. You know, but you 39, something's out there. I got a few people watching this who are turning with me this year. I feel like we've lived through some of the craziest times. Like the O.J. Simpson trial. NWA. Fanny packs. Bill Cosby traded in his sweater vest for chloroform rags. Milli Vanilli. 9/11. Vanilla Ice. Ooh, anything Vanilla Ice. How about the President of the United States getting a BJ in the White House? Unbelievable. We saw Michael Jordan go from the top of the NBA to the bottom of the minor leagues. Hulk Hogan was a champion and not a punchline. And I got to see Michael Jackson, history's greatest entertainer, be a black man and a white man. Who else? You guys tell me. That's so mind-blowing, isn't it? So with all that said, I still have a few questions left. Like, when did the pound sign become a hashtag? How am I supposed to explain 80s fashion in 2017? Who did shoot JR? I still don't know. Why is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and the ABC song the same melody and music? Why did we spend so much money on glamour shots? Are you still thinking about the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star thing, man? Leave that alone. So, it's been said that Jesus was between 33 and 35 when he left this earth. That being said, now that I made it here longer than him, does the what would Jesus do thingy still apply to me? Or no? I need to know these things. I don't know these things though. So, I'm going to end it with this. I'm going to give you my piece of advice that got me through the first 40 years of my life. Never look anybody in the eyes while you're eating a banana. You can never please everybody all the time, but pissing them off is really easy. Trust me on this one. Any call is a potential booty call if you play your cards right. Never trust a skinny chef, and along the same lines, never trust a bartender that doesn't drink. Free advice, everybody, right here. You will be disappointed every time if you think somebody will do for you as you would do for them. Not everybody has the same heart as you. Remember that. My last bit of advice is this. Don't be an asshole. It's this simple. Laugh often, love deep, pray daily, work hard, lift heavy, play nice, be honest, help others, and bad shit is going to happen. It's part of life. I'm Will Garrett. I'm a few days away from my 40th birthday, and I just wanted to share a few thoughts on how it's going. Wish me luck.